try making too woke be a cancelable offense. It's important for America to have a center-left party, and for that party to be competitive. And a good first step toward that goal would be to make the voters not want to punch you in the face. The reason I'm so mad at the Democrats is because as a voter, the issues that were important to me were democracy and the environment. And now, there's no one to champion or defend either of them because you, with your aggressively anti-common sense agenda and exclusionary attitude, blew it. You lost everything.
Bill Maher has once again struck a nerve with the woke left, and their reactions are nothing short of cinematic. Still unable to accept that Kamala Harris lost the election to Donald Trump, they've been churning out excuses like a factory on overtime. But Maher, who openly identifies as a leftist himself, just dropped a truth bomb that sent the entire movement into meltdown mode. If you enjoy watching fiery political chaos unfold and seeing every woke activist squirm under the heat, make sure to hit that subscribe button because this one's going to be wild.
My message to the losers: losers, look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should. Sorry. Well, that's my feeling. Losers, look in the mirror, okay? For months, Democrats have been saying, how is this even close? And they're right, it wasn't.
That message sent the woke left into full meltdown mode. Instead of owning Kamala Harris's defeat, they blamed everyone: Russia, the media, voters, anyone but themselves. When Bill Maher started his monologue, they expected more of the same. But he flipped the script, told them to stop whining and face reality. That alone shook them, but his next line hit even harder, tearing through their bubble and sparking an online frenzy.
They could not conceive of a second Trump term, but they should have. When does America ever turn down seconds? I mean, come on. Look, this is just the facts. It's just the facts. Trump won all the swing states, all 7. I mean, he ran the table. Trump won so big. Today he called the Secretary of State in Georgia and he asked him to lose him 11,000 votes.
I completely understand why Bill Maher drives most leftists crazy. Nothing stings quite like being roasted by one of your own. They expect him to stick to the same predictable late-night formula: bash Trump, toss a few cheap jokes, and recycle the same tired punchlines that Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, and Stephen Colbert roll out night after night. But Maher isn't built for that. He's not here to cheerlead for his team. He's here to expose hypocrisy wherever it hides. And when he sets his sights on the Democrats, his takedowns are brutal and unforgettable, leaving his own side scrambling for excuses and dealing with some very public backlash.
You know, he has an amazing coalition. He kept the old crowd that likes him. He got a lot of new voters. He got a lot of people who say they just want to see what he'll do. I call this the get the cat high vote.
Maher exposed one major reason behind Trump's comeback. He kept his loyal base tight while winning over new voters, something the DNC completely failed at. By Biden's second year, nearly half his voters had already jumped ship, including big names like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. Even RFK Jr. walked away, tired of the left's growing woke circus. Maher's point hit hard. Trump played the long game, while Democrats pushed their own supporters away.
He did better, like in every demographic. The exit poll said he grabbed 52% of white women. He also got their votes. We're going to keep doing jokes here, okay, right? Both sides, right to the end.
Trump winning 52% of the white female vote is astonishing, especially after the left's nonstop efforts to destroy his image. They turned court cases into primetime spectacles, with the media obsessively covering every hearing and headline. The mission was clear: make Trump look toxic and unelectable. But when the dust settled, he walked away with courtroom wins and, even more shocking to his critics, the support of most white women voters. In the end, their narrative collapsed, and the voters wrote a very different ending.
You have completely lost the ability to speak truth to both. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. They also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch.
While Trump was gaining unexpected support from white women, Kamala Harris was steadily losing ground among black voters, a group Democrats had long taken for granted. Instead of focusing on core issues like economic growth, public safety, and education, the DNC poured its energy into catering to activist agendas that often clashed with traditional values in many black communities. That approach backfired, sparking frustration and sending a clear message from black voters. Their loyalty could no longer be assumed.
But Kamala threw the environment under the bus to win the fracking vote in Pennsylvania and the automobile vote in Michigan, and then didn't win either. At the presidential debate, environment came up once, and Kamala used the opportunity to brag that we've increased domestic gas production to historic levels. And Trump, of course, called Mother Nature a childless cat lady. And now we're back to that, because the Democrat lost. So good luck to us and enjoy the impossible lobster.
That's exactly what many Americans say they admire about Donald Trump. No filters, no fluff, no guessing games. He says what he means and means what he says. You might not like it, but at least it's clear. No fake promises, no sugarcoating, just raw transparency. In contrast, Kamala Harris's messaging felt messy and inconsistent from the start. She shifted her tone for every audience, avoided firm positions on key issues, and filled her speeches with empty slogans instead of substance. Voters noticed, and tuned out.
Try making too woke be a cancelable offense. It's important for America to have a center-left party, and for that party to be competitive. And a good first step toward that goal would be to make the voters not want to punch you in the face.
Maher is absolutely right. If Democrats want a real shot at the next election, they need to break free from the grip of woke culture. Fringe ideas have taken over their platform, pushing away everyday Americans who just want practical solutions, not lectures. Instead of chasing online trends and identity politics, they should focus on what truly matters: the economy, jobs, safety, and stability. People are tired of the posturing and virtue signaling. It doesn't inspire, it irritates. If Democrats return to real-world issues instead of performative politics, they might actually stand a chance against a powerhouse like Trump.
I will conclude by saying the reason I'm so mad at the Democrats is because as a voter, the issues that were important to me were democracy and the environment. And now, there's no one to champion or defend either of them because you, with your aggressively anti-common sense agenda and exclusionary attitude, blew it. You lost everything: House, Senate, White House, Supreme Court, and left us completely unprotected and ready to be violated. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
The Democrats have managed to disappoint much of their own base with an agenda that seems detached from basic common sense. While families struggled with rising prices and stagnant wages, their focus wasn't on fighting inflation or creating jobs. It was on pushing culture war issues like gender-affirming care for minors and policies allowing biological males to compete in women's sports. Meanwhile, America's global standing was slipping, rivals were gaining ground, and allies were growing uneasy. Instead of uniting people around real problems, the DNC doubled down on divisive topics, sending a clear message: ideology matters more than everyday Americans.
What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did? Oh, right, and then re-elected him. Maybe you missed it because it wasn't on TikTok.
In the end, The Democrats' 2024 collapse wasn't just because of Trump's strength, it was their own doing. While Trump kept his base loyal and expanded his reach, the DNC pushed away its core with confusing messaging and an obsession with woke politics. Kamala Harris failed to build trust, relying on scripted lines instead of real solutions. Instead of addressing jobs, inflation, and safety, they fixated on culture wars that tore their coalition apart. Even voices like Bill Maher warned them to face reality, but they didn't listen, and it cost them. If Democrats want another chance, they'll need less ideology and more connection to the people they claim to represent.